Welcome to Another Voice with Jason and Eric, the YouTube edition. Today is Super Tuesday, a day that, according to many pundits, will make or break the Republicans' race for the presidency. Now, as you know, there's some key states here. Ohio is in big contention with Santorum and Romney duking it out for the top position. Now, this is where Santorum seems to think that he can put his eggs all in one basket and possibly win a lot. The problem is Santorum's campaign failed to register properly, so he doesn't, even if he wins the whole thing, even if he gets every single, wins the whole thing, he's not going to get all the delegates. He's going to lose at least 9 and up to 1/4 of the delegates based on their failure to make registration properly. Then you have Georgia. That's Newt Gingrich's home state. That's where he was elected to be a representative and the Speaker of the House. It's a big deal for him to win. He made a comment a few weeks back that if a candidate doesn't win their home state, they're pretty much done. Now, he's vowed that he's going to go all the way to the convention. But I wonder if he pulls up short in Georgia, whether he'll bail out. Then you've got Virginia. Virginia is amazing because there's only 2 people running there. Well, there's only 2 people on the ballot. Romney and Paul both are on the ballot. Santorum and Gingrich both failed to get on the ballot, which I question, how can a presidential candidate not be on the ballot in all 50 states? It's ridiculous. Now, we can think back to Gingrich in this beginning of his campaign where it was all haphazard and crazy. And it's funny that he said he fired the professional campaign people because they weren't doing the campaign the way he wanted it to be, and they were wanting it all to be professional, usual, standard. But I think he should have fired him because they failed in their job of getting him on all the ballots. So it's possible that Ron Paul could pull an upset in Virginia. People that were going to vote for Santorum or Gingrich might say, hey, I'll go for Paul. And it'll be interesting because it'll be the first state that Ron Paul has technically won. There's questions of whether he actually won Maine, and it's very possible he did. But Ron Paul's taking another tack that the other candidates are failing on, I think. Ron Paul, his supporters aren't going to like when I say this, but Ron Paul, I don't believe, thinks he's going to win the presidency. I think he's trying to get a message across. He's trying to change the way Republicans and Americans think about a lot of things. And I think his goal is to be a power broker in Tampa and to be able to say, this is what we need to focus on. And what he's doing is he's wooing the unpledged delegates across the country. Because in this weird primary caucus nonsense that we have, there are a number of the delegates that are not pledged to any one candidate. And if they're not pledged, anyone can get them. So he's been wooing those unpledged delegates, which is a smart move. So Super Tuesday, 10 states, mostly primaries, a couple caucuses. What's going to happen at the end of the day? Now, forget about the media, whether it's mainstream or CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. I can't stand their narrative. Like Mitt Romney was supposed, if he didn't win Michigan, his home state, it'd be all over for him. And I say his home state. You mean the state where he hadn't lived for over 40 years and where none of his major contributions and successes occurred? That guy? I don't think it was a big deal. I think it would have been a story, but it would have been only because the media ginned it up. So let's not worry about what the mainstream media or the cable media says. Let's look at what actually happens. Do we come out of this day with a clear candidate? Does Mitt Romney pull ahead finally? Or do we come out with the votes of the 10 states split so we have the same kind of a setup we have now and it just goes further and it goes all the way to the convention? I think that no matter what happens today, we're going to have a brokered convention in Tampa come August. But we'll wait and see. Well, this has been Another Voice with Jason and Eric, the YouTube edition. You can tune into our radio show at WOLT-FM 103.3 in Greenville, South Carolina, or go to www.canIGetAWordIn.com.